Lesson 7: The Advance of Science Technology during the Renaissance, AD 13,000, AD 1550 in the Western world. The Renaissance was a fervent period of European cultural, artistic, political, and economic rebirth following the Middle Ages, generally described as taking place from the 14th century to 17th century. The Renaissance promoted the rediscovery of classical philosophy, literature, and art. Michelangelo is known as a sculptor, painter, poet, engineer, and architect. His famous works include the mural on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel and the sculpture of the biblical character David. The most important technological innovation of the time was invention of the printing press. This was introduced from China in the 13,000 by the 14,000. Movable types was being used in Europe as Johann Gutenberg began printing the Bible in every language. Soon millions of books were in circulation. This invention led to a higher literacy rate among people and helped with the spreading of Renaissance ideas. Alchemy is the study of the transmutation of materials through obscure processes. It is sometimes described as an early form of chemistry. One of the main aims of alchemists was to find a method of creating gold from other substances. Medieval alchemists worked with two main elements, sulfur and mercury. Paracelsus was an alchemist and physician of the Renaissance. The Paracelsians added a third element, salt, to make a trinity of alchemical elements. Astronomy. Nicolaus Copernicus, 1473 to 1543, founded the theory of heliocentric, that the Earth revolved around the Sun. Sun is the center of solar system. His book, De Revolutionibus Orbium Celestium, on the revolution of the celestial spheres, was finally published in 1543. A comparison of his work with the Almagest show that Copernicus was in many ways a Renaissance scientist rather than a revolutionary. Newspaper is an offspring of the printing press, from which the press derives its names. The 16th century sees a rising demand for up-to-date information which cannot be covered effectively by the circulating handwriting news sheets for gaining time from the slow copying process. Johann Carolus of Starburg is the first to publish his German language relation by using a printing press. Parachute. Berenzus 1595. Parachute design titled Flying Man. An air gun equipped with a powerful Spiral Spring. Paracelsus was an alchemist and physician of the Renaissance. The Paracelsians added a third element, salt, to make a trinity of alchemical elements. Andres Vesalius, 1514 to 1564, who described the anatomy of the brain and the other organs. In 1543, he published one of the most famous publications in natural philosophy, his anatomical book, De Fabrica. It was arguably the most important anatomical text of the century, at once criticizing the work of the ancients, principally Galen, offering new illustration based on first-hand observation and fresh dissections.